9.1.11 Mrs. G. W. Hale, Detroit, February 22, 1894. Dear Mother, I have got the $200 for the engagements, $175 and $117 by private lectures, and $100 as a present from a lady. This sum will be sent to you tomorrow in checks by Mrs. Bagley. Today, the banks being closed, we could not do it. I am going tomorrow to lecture at Ada, Ohio. I do not know whether I will go to Chicago from Ada or not. However, kindly let not Slayton know anything about the rest of the money, as I am going to separate myself from him. Yours obediently, Vivekananda. 9.1.12 Mrs. G. W. Hale, Detroit, 10th March, 1894. Dear Mother, reached Detroit safely yesterday evening. The two younger daughters were waiting for me with a carriage. So everything was all right. I hope the lecture will be a success, as one of the girls said the tickets are selling like hot cakes. Here I found a letter from Mr. Palmer awaiting me with a request that I should come over to his house and be his guest. Could not go last night. He will come in the course of the day to take me over. As I am going over to Mr. Palmer's, I have not opened the awfully packed bag. The very idea of repacking seems to me to be hopeless, so I could not shave this morning. However, I hope to shave during the course of the day. I am thinking of going over to Boston and New York just now, as the Michigan cities I can come and take over in summer. But the fashionables of New York and Boston will fly off. Lord will show the way. Mrs. Bagley and all the family are heartily glad at my return, and people are again coming in to see me. The photographer here has sent me some of the pictures he made. They are positively villainous. Mrs. Bagley does not like them at all. The real fact is that between the two photos, my face has become so fat and heavy. What can the poor photographers do? Kindly send over 4 copies of photographs. Not yet made any arrangement with Holden. Everything promises to be very nice. Senator Palmer is a very nice gentleman and very kind to me. He has got a French chef. Lord bless his stomach. I am trying to starve and the whole world is against me. He used to give the best dinners in all Washington. Hopeless. I am resigned. I will write more from Mr. Palmer's house. If the Himalayas become the ink pot, the ocean ink, if the heavenly eternal Devadaru becomes the pen, and if the sky itself becomes paper, still I would not be able to write a drop of the debt of gratitude I owe to you and yours. Kindly convey my love to the 4 full notes and the 4 half notes of the Hale gamut. May the blessings of the Lord be upon you and yours ever and ever. Ever yours in grateful affection, Vivekananda. 9.1.13 Mrs. G. W. Hale, Detroit, 16 March 1894. Dear Mother, since my last there has been nothing of interest here, except that Mr. Palmer is a very hearty, jolly, good old man and very rich. He has been uniformly kind to me. Tomorrow I go back to Mrs. Bagley's because I am afraid she is rather uneasy at my long stay here. I am shrewd enough to know that in every country in general, and America in particular, she is the real operator at the nose string. I am going to lecture here on Monday and in 2 places near the town on Tuesday and Wednesday. I do not remember the lady you refer me to, and she is in Lynn. What is Lynn? Where on the globe its position is, I do not know. I want to go to Boston. What good would it do me by stopping at Lynn? Kindly give me a more particular idea. Nor could I read the name of the lady at whose house you say I met the lady. However, I am in no way very anxious. I am taking life very easy in my natural way. I have no particular wish to go anywhere, Boston or no Boston. I am just in a nice come-what-may mood. Something should turn up, bad or good. I have enough now to pay my passage back and a little sightseeing to boot. As to my plans of work, I am fully convinced that at the rate it is progressing, I will have to come back 4 or 5 times to put it in any shape. As to informing others and doing good that way, I have failed to persuade myself that I have really anything to convey to the world. So I am very happy just now and quite at my ease. With almost nobody in this vast house and a cigar between my lips, I am dreaming just now and philosophizing upon that work fever which was upon me. It is all nonsense. I am nothing. The world is nothing. The Lord alone is the only worker. We are simply tools in his hands, etc., etc., etc. Have you got the Alaska information? If so, kindly send it to me, care of Mrs. Bagley. Are you coming to the East this summer? With eternal gratitude and love, your son, Vivekananda. 9.1.14 Mrs. G. W. Hale, Detroit, Tuesday, 27 March 1894. Dear Mother, herewith I send two checks of $114 and $75 to be put in the banks for me. I have endorsed them to your care. I am going to Boston in a day or two. I have got $57 with me. They will go a long way. Something will turn up, as it always does. I do not know where I go from Boston. I have written to Mrs. Frances W. Breed, but as yet heard nothing from her. His will be done. Not I, but thou. That is always the motto of my life. With my eternal gratitude, love, and admiration for Mother Church and all the dignitaries, I remain your son, Vivekananda. 9.1.15 Mrs. G. W. Hale, care of Dr. Guernsey, 528 Fifth Avenue, New York, 2nd April 1894. Dear Mother, I am in New York. The gentleman, Dr. Guernsey, whose guest I am, is a very nice and learned and well-to-do man. He had an only son whom he lost last July, has only a daughter now. The old couple have received a great shock, but they are pure and God-loving people and bear it manfully. The lady of the house is very, very kind and good. They are trying to help me as much as they can, and they will do a good deal, I have no doubt. Awaiting further developments. This Thursday, April 5, they will invite a number of the brainy people of the Union League Club and other places of which the doctor is a member, and see what comes out of it. Parlor lectures are a great feature in this city, and more can be made by each such lecture than even platform talks in other cities. It is a very clean city, none of that black smoke tarring everyone in 5 minutes, and the street in which the doctor lives is a nice, quiet one. Hope the sisters are doing well and enjoying their music, both in the opera and the parlor. I am sure I would have appreciated the music at the opera about which Miss Mary wrote to me. I am sure the opera musicians do not show the interior anatomy of their throats and lungs. Kindly give Brother Sam my deep love. I am sure he is bewaring of the widows. Some of the baby Bagleys are going to Chicago. They will go to see you, and I am sure you would like them very much. Nothing more to write. With all respect, love, and obedience, your son, Vivekananda. P.S. I have not to ask now for addresses. Mrs. Sherman has given me a little book with A, B, C, etc. marks, and has written under them all the addresses I need. And I hope to write all the future addresses in the same manner. What an example of self-help I am. V. 9.1.16 Mrs. G. W. Hale, care of Dr. Egbert Guernsey, 528 Fifth Avenue, New York, 10 April 1894. Dear Mother, I just now received your letter. I have the greatest regard for the Salvationists. In fact, they and the Oxford Mission gentlemen are the only Christian missionaries for whom I have any regard at all. They live with the people, as the people, and for the people of India. Lord bless them. But I would be very, very sorry of any trick being played by them. I never have heard of any lord in India, much less in Ceylon. The people of Ceylon and northern India differ more than Americans and Hindus, nor is there any connection between the Buddhist priest and the Hindu. Our dress, manners, religion, food, language differ entirely from southern India, much less to speak of Ceylon. You know already that I could not speak a word of Narasimha's language, although that was only Madras. Well, you have Hindu princesses. Why not a lord, which is not a higher title? There was a certain Mrs. Smith in Chicago. I met her at Mrs. Stockham's. She has introduced me to the Guernseys. Dr. Guernsey is one of the chief physicians of this city and is a very good old gentleman. They are very fond of me and are very nice people. Next Friday I am going to Boston. I have not been lecturing in New York at all. I will come back and do some lecturing here. For the last few days, I was the guest of Miss Helen Gould, daughter of the rich Gould, at her palatial country residence, an hour's ride from the city. She has one of the most beautiful and large greenhouses in the world, full of all sorts of curious plants and flowers. They are Presbyterians, and she is a very religious lady. I had a very nice time there. I met my friend Mr. Flagg several times. He is flying merrily. There is another Mrs. Smith here who is very rich and pious. She has invited me to dine today. As for lecturing, I have given up raising money. I cannot degenerate myself any more. When a certain purpose was in view, I could work. With that gone, I cannot earn for myself. I have sufficient for going back. I have not tried to earn a penny here, and have refused some presents which friends here wanted to make to me. Especially Flagg. I have refused his money. I had in Detroit tried to refund the money back to the donors and told them that, there being almost no chance of my succeeding in my enterprise, I had no right to keep their money. But they refused and told me to throw that into the waters if I liked. But I cannot take any more conscientiously. I am very well off, mother. Everywhere the Lord sends me kind persons and homes, so there is no use of my going into beastly worldliness at all. The New York people, though not so intellectual as the Bostonians, are, I think, more sincere. The Bostonians know well how to take advantage of everybody, and I am afraid even water cannot slip through their closed fingers. Lord bless them. I have promised to go, and I must go, but Lord, make me live with the sincere, ignorant, and the poor, and not cross the shadow of the hypocrites and tall talkers, who, as my master used to say, are like vultures who soar high and high in their talks, but the heart is really on a piece of carrion on the ground. I would be the guest of Mrs. Breed for a few days, and after seeing a little of Boston, I would come back to New York. Hope the sisters are all right and enjoying their concerts immensely. There is not much of music in this city. That is a blessing. Went to see Barnum's circus the other day. It is no doubt a grand thing. I have not been as yet downtown. This street is very nice and quiet. I heard a beautiful piece of music the other day at Barnum's. They call it a Spanish serenada. Whatever it be, I like it so much. Unfortunately, Miss Guernsey is not given to much thumping, although she has a good assortment of all the noisy stuffs in the world, and so she could not play it, which I regret ever so much. Yours obediently, Vivekananda. P.S. Most probably I will go to Annisquam as Mrs. Bagley's guest. She has got a nice house there this summer. Before that, I will go back to Chicago once more if I can. V. 9.1.17 Mrs. G. W. Hale, care of Miss Florence Guernsey, 528 Fifth Avenue, New York, 4th May, 1894. Dear Mother, herewith I send over $125 in a check upon the Fifth Avenue Bank to be deposited at your leisure. I am going to Boston on Sunday, day after tomorrow, and write to you from Boston. With my love to all the family, I remain yours truly, Vivekananda. 9.1.18 Mrs. John J. Begley, Hotel Bellevue, European Plan, Boston, May 8, 1894. Dear Mother, I have arrived in Boston again. Last afternoon I spoke at Mrs. Julia Ward House Club. Of course for nothing, but it gives me a prestige. I saw there Mrs. Edna Dean Cheney. Would you not write a letter to her for me? Although I told her I had a card from you, I think a letter is better. Yours truly, Vivekananda. 9.1.19 Mrs. G. W. Hale, Hotel Bellevue, European Plan, Beacon Street, Boston, 11 May 1894. Dear Mother, I have been since the 7th lecturing here every afternoon or evening. At Mrs. Fairchild's, I met the niece of Mrs. Howe. She was here today to invite me to dinner with her today. I have not seen Mr. Volkinen as yet. Of course, the pay for lecture is here the poorest, and everybody has an axe to grind. I got a long letter full of the prattles of the babies. Your city, that is New York, pays far better than Boston, so I am trying to go back there. But here one can get work almost every day. I think I want some rest. I feel as if I am very much tired, and these constant journeyings to and fro have shaken my nerves a little, but hope to recoup soon. Last few days I have been suffering from cold and slight fever and lecturing for all that. Hope to get rid of it in a day or two. I have got a very nice gown at $30. The color is not exactly that of the old one, but cardinal, with more of yellow. Could not get the exact old color even in New York. I have not much to write, for it is the repetition of the old story. Talking, talking, talking. I long to fly to Chicago and shut up my mouth and give a long rest to mouth and lungs and mind. If I am not called for in New York, I am coming soon to Chicago. Yours obediently, Vivekananda. 9.1.20 Mrs. G. W. Hale, Hotel Bellevue, European Plan, Beacon Street, Boston, 14 May 1894. Dear Mother, your letter was so pleasing instead of being long. I enjoyed every bit of it. I have received a letter from Mrs. Potter Palmer, asking me to write to some of my countrywomen about their society, etc. I will see her personally when I come to Chicago. In the meanwhile, I will write her all I know. Perhaps you have received $125 sent over from New York. Tomorrow I will send another $100 from here. The Bostonians want to grind their own axes. Oh, they are so dry. Even girls talk dry metaphysics. Here is like our Banaras, where all is dry, dry metaphysics. Nobody here understands my beloved. Religion to these people is reason, and horribly stony at that. I do not care for anybody who cannot love my beloved. Do not tell it to Miss Howe. She may be offended. The pamphlet I did not send over because I do not like the quotations from the Indian newspapers. Especially they give a haul over coal to somebody. Our people so much dislike the Brahmo Samaj that they only want an opportunity to show it to them. I dislike it. Any amount of enmity to certain persons cannot efface the good works of a life. And then they were only children in religion. They never were much of religious men. That is, they only wanted to talk and reason, and did not struggle to see the beloved. And until one does that, I do not say that he has any religion. He may have books, forms, doctrines, words, reasons, etc., etc., but not religion. For that begins when the soul feels the necessity, the want, the yearning after the beloved, and never before. And therefore our society has no right to expect from them anything more than from an ordinary householder. I hope to come to Chicago before the end of this month. Oh, I'm so tired. Yours affectionately, Vivekananda.